with a new stream that we haven't streamed in a while. Nope, no sir, I've not streamed in a while.
Yeah, this is. Never mind that horrible thing that happened a minute ago.
I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing happened a minute ago.
We were erased. Don't you remember?
Nope. This is the first time I've talked to you in like weeks.
Okay. Pick a Gundam, goddammit.
Let's do a Sharzaku.
I actually think I've played Sharzaku.
Ooh, super futuristic effects.
Alright. Hey, so on the bright side, the new Gundam Versus is coming out this fall on PS4, and provided my PS4 actually lets me stream it, unlike Gundam Breaker 3, I'm gonna try and stream it.
Who developed Gundam Breaker 3?
Bandai Namco, and probably somebody else, I don't know. Ah! God damn it! I got locked onto the Shining Gundam while Master Gundam was flinging it around in the air.
This is beautiful.
There we go. It's just taking me a second to get the hang of this, because I've never actually played Sharzaku before.
Which is surprising, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't think I've touched a lot of the original Gundam mobile suits that are in this. No, I played as the Zeong for a playthrough. And I tried out the Dom for like one match.
Dom.
Alright, so...
Beta route.
Fair enough. Oh, it looks like we're going to the final battle of 8th MS team. Well, the not-so-final battle.
The supposed final battle. With your weird rocket launcher.
There we go. Make conversation.
Well, did you just cut off his fucking arms?
For some reason that Gundam, I don't know anything about that Gundam we just fought, but I know when you fight it in this, it flies apart.
Interesting. Interesting. I was not expecting that, so whenever I looked up and noticed that its arms were gone, it was quite surprising. So, this game is for the PSP, correct?
Yeah, and it's a port of a PS3 game.
Okay.
I've been watching beta footage and stuff for the new Gundam Versus, and it looks like it's going to be fun as hell. I'm super excited for it.
Looks sweet. I watched some. I think you sent me a video of it, or someone did. I know that. 3, 2, 1, go! Wait, are you fighting inside of the original Gundam?
Yeah, actually, our target is actually Char in the Zeon.
Huh. Okay. I mean,
and it's playing the original Gundam theme. Oh shit. Gotcha. Oh fuck. There's a boss fight? Briefing didn't tell me there was a boss fight.
Ooh,
We have to fight Lala
Gotta fight
and
against-
Alameth.
the flying helmet.
The flying helmet. Unfortunately for us, the Alameth has funnels, and those hurt. Fuck. I really can't talk right now because I'm... There we go.
Focused. Fighting. Killing.
I kind of need you to fill a little.
You're a killing machine. And there's the Zeong that we are going to destroy.
Yeah, the match ends when we beat the Zeong.
And a dumb green Zaku besides. Ooh. You just got blowed up. I don't think that ever happened. You got you blew the fuck up and then you fly from the sky and return to the ground.
Oh, we knocked his head off.
Ooh. I believe you died again.
It's okay, we're still in this. Got him. Okay.
Nice. We killed ourselves.
Got any news you want to talk about? Maybe anything gaming related? Alpha Beta Gamma, by the way.
We're gonna go Gamma this time. So, I mean, it's not really news, but I guess we could talk about this since it's recent in its topic. The idea of re-releasing Espeon? Fighting Espeon?
You mean Epion?
Or Epion, yeah.
Yeah, or
Espeon's
Zaku
Pokemon.
fighting the fucking Epion. It's going about as good as you'd expect.
Yeah. Zaku is always like a C tier Gundam mobile suit.
If it makes you feel any better, our ally is Death Side.
Epion, on the other hand, solid B tier mobile suit / Gundam. So I feel like we're outranked and outclassed here.
Ow. And we're fighting some bullshit from Seed as well. But what was it? What was your topic?
The idea of re-releasing games, but charging near full amount for them.
Example?
So there's two examples I have to give. Recently, there's this old game called Bulletstorm, and it was just like a bullet, just a crazy shooter game, and it stands out to me because whenever the game was originally released, I think like 2008, 2009-ish, they did a huge parody. It was called Duty Calls, making fun of Call of Duty, obviously, saying like, why play this boring shooter? And it was like a playable demo of Duty Calls, but it was just like really like, it was just poking fun at all of the Call of Duty tropes, like leveling up super easy, alpha, by the way, and such. So the game actually wasn't like super good. It was fairly medium. Like the gameplay was pretty repetitive. Didn't really do anything amazing for what it was trying to do. And I think it ended up losing money. Mostly because they probably spent a good bit of money creating an entire playable demo of a different game to promote their game.
Yeah, that's weird.
So they re-released it recently, and it's like they released it for full price. A game that's they released it, I believe, on Steam, and it wasn't. I don't think they added that much to it. Are we fighting ourselves now?
Yeah.
Okay. Another example, sort of on the different spectrum of re-releasing a video game for near full price, is yesterday or like 2 days ago, sometime within the past week, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe got released for the Nintendo Switch, and it added a whole different race type, I believe, with 200cc. I don't know if that's brand new, but I think 200cc is new enough, and it added in a battle mode and stuff, and I think it added a couple maps. But they were charging near full price for it, but it is on a different console. So there is that sort of addition to it. So it's not like they're re-releasing on the same platform you could already play it on. It's on a new console. So,
I mean, that's a little more understandable, I guess.
yeah, I mean, like, so that's like a weird, sort of something I've been thinking about lately is how much do you have to do to properly re-release a game and charge money for it, like a large sum of money. And I think what Nintendo did with Mario Kart, because a lot of people did disparage Nintendo for like, oh, they're just re-releasing the same game, it's bullshit, like that's just, I think what they did was well enough to re-release the game, especially for a new console that doesn't have a whole lot of things out for it yet. Mario Kart's one of those things where, I mean, who doesn't love a good game of Mario Kart? So it's like perfect to put it on this new platform that doesn't have too much going for it.
Alright, and we're at a boss fight. We're fighting Aina and Guineas in the Obsolus 3. Fuck. But, I really like that the, at the very least, the, what's it called? The Crash, Insane Trilogy. They're being cool about it and only releasing it for, like, $30.
Yeah, I've read some people aren't super excited for it, which is kind of depressing for me deep down.
I don't care, as long as, why should you care? Buy it and enjoy it, fuck.
Yeah. One of the things that I have noticed that some people have been saying is a little bit of a problem is, so they are using, and this is something that actually came up with a Yooka-Laylee as well.
Okay.
Is for a platformer, it having dynamic lighting can be slightly a problem, because if you're jumping and you're kind of, you're using like light or shadow to really, that fucking random Zaku head is just really stupid looking.
Huh. Well, the Obsolus was cobbled together using mostly other parts.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So I mean, they did a good job.
Plus the reactors from 4 DOMs inside it. Huh.
But it having dynamic lighting could be a little bit of a trouble when doing certain jumps if you're relying on like your shadow to really line things up. But when I played the demo, and from what I've seen of Yooka-Laylee, I think it's fine. I don't think that's a problem. I think you just need to get better at platformers if you think that the lighting is going to be an issue.
Huh. That's one game I really don't give a flying fuck about is Yooka-Laylee. Mainly because I never played Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, I was about to say that. If the game is just Banjo-Kazooie, it's literally just Banjo-Kazooie with like a reskin in some ways. I have played Banjo-Kazooie. I like the original Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. I think they're fun games. Yooka-Laylee doesn't do anything different. And so if I'm looking for a new Banjo-Kazooie experience, that's the game I would look towards. But I'm not in the market for it, personally, because I've never beaten Banjo-Tooie, and I haven't played Banjo-Kazooie in a super long time. Plus, those type of platformers I'm not as big of a fan of. Like, there's like kind of 3 extents of platformers that exist for me. There's the super linear ones in the form of like 2D Mario games or Crash Bandicoot, where there's like kind of one pathway you take, and that's about it. Like, there can be branching pathways, but everything kind of leads back to the same place, no matter what you do, right?
Yeah.
And then there's like, there's ones that push it a little bit further. So you have, in my eyes, like Mario 64, Super Mario 64, where
Mario 64 was a damn good game.
oh, it's one of my favorites. It still is. Like I still play the 3DS or the DS version all the time because it has better controls.
Also, you want to know what's weird about us fighting the Obsolus?
What's up?
Look at the map. Like whenever I get control again. Look. Look what I'm standing on.
An Obsolus?
Yep. Top buried in the mountain.
Interesting.
But, I actually brought this up while I was talking to some of our friends recently. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Possibly best 2D game ever made. Yes or no?
Well, you're talking to someone that considers that's my favorite game of all time, so I would say yes. I mean,
like I'm hard. I haven't played like every game known to man, obviously, but I'm hard pressed to find something that really puts up a fight.
If you're looking solely at 2D games, it depends on how you classify 2D. Like 2D side scroller.
I mean, that is kind of like really like open.
Yeah. So like there's like a good contender for it, if you would consider this to be of the same level of 2D, is Link to the Past.
I'd put Link to the Past up there, yeah.
That's a lot of people's favorite game of all time, is Link to the Past. And that's a very good choice. I love Link to the Past. But they're like two different type of 2D games for me, right? Like, that's not 2D side-scrolling, that's 2D. Whereas Castlevania Symphony of the Night is a 2D side-scroller. But, I mean, once you add in those additional, like, caveats, like, are we just talking... If we're talking all 2D games of all time, there might be a better one. Personally, for me, there isn't. Like I said, my favorite game of all time, I play it to this day, Alpha Route. I love it. It's perfect for me. It's got everything I want in a game. It has replayability. It's got moments where I can just kind of zone away and grind. It's got amazing... oh, sorry, I had to yawn there. It's got an amazing soundtrack, amazing enemy design. Everything feels sweet. It's got the thing where, and this is one of my... This is something I get into discussions with Garrick about all the time. Because he is ginormously huge on Dark Souls. It's like his favorite game of all time. Like the Dark Souls franchise. And I have a problem getting into Dark Souls, mostly because, like, the difficulty curve's one thing. I don't mind, like, a tough difficulty curve. And I'm sure, but, like, there's, like, a legitimate wall with Dark Souls where if you don't grind and you don't, like, really learn your mechanics fast enough, you just hit the wall and then you're stuck on that wall. And I think Castlevania does a nice difficulty curve well, because if you pick up the game for the first time, there's a lot of things about the game where you're gonna have trouble, and you're gonna need to really, like, buckle down and redo things.
Oh yeah, my first time playing Symphony of the Night, Slurga and Gaiden were freaking merciless.
Yeah, there's a difficulty curve. There's a difficulty curve that isn't too hard though. Because after a while, you sort of start to figure out, like, strategies, and, like, every boss has a specific weakness. So you can like take advantage of their weakness, but there are easy ways for a lot of different boss fights where you can kind of just find a certain weapon and spam it, which works for some people. I mean,
when we were kids, the Basilard.
Yeah, I mean, even to this day, the Basilard.
Yeah, we did that whole stream of you just using nothing but the Basilard. I was trying to think of actually a Castlevania stream rule that would make actually for a real challenge. And I actually considered magic only. You can't swing a weapon.
Oh my god. That would be difficult for me because I just don't... have all the magic moves memorized by heart because I just don't. I mean, like they're just super powerful, but I don't use them that often. Beta. Personally, for me, the one I'm going to try next is I'm going to try Fist only.
I think it would be fair to have an FAQ open with a list of all the spells.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'd probably have to do if I was streaming it because I wouldn't like I know all of them. I just some of the inputs I like get backwards or something. I know I did have to do all of them. It's really funny. There's
I
a
Hellfire on command. That's about the only one I can do.
There's on Xbox 360, the Xbox 360 version of Symphony of the Night, there's an achievement for casting all of the different spells. And so what I did was I went and fought Galamoth with the chainmail on that heals you for thunder damage. And I just sat in the corner spamming all the different... Yeah, oh yeah, it's the circle that isn't the thundermail, I'm sorry. But yeah, I just sat in the corner and just spammed all the different spells until I got the achievement. And turns out he eventually learned that the thunder doesn't deal damage to you.
Oh, and he only does that ability with the black orbs?
Yeah, after a while he stopped doing the thunder attack, which I thought was neat. Because I have played some games where boss AIs will not stop doing attacks that don't damage you, which makes them super easy.
Which, by the way, how fuck hard is Galamoth?
Without the circlet, it is very hard.
I don't think I've ever beaten Galamoth without it.
I've beaten him once without it.
I know Mom beat him without it.
It's because you have to go out of your way to get the circlet. So if you're not like going for completion sake, or you're not actively like going and collecting all the items, then it is you lose.
I mean, the way you get the circlet is it's just absurd. Like I'd have never figured that out on my own in a million squillion years.
Going back and forth through the fucking tunnel,
and then looking for an open door.
Yeah.
Like they hid that thing damn good.
To be fair, it is in the upside down version. So in the right side up castle, if you magically figured it out in the right side up castle, then
what's in there? Isn't it just the jewel sword or something?
Yeah, it's just the jewel sword.
Wednesdays I should actually get my copy of Dracula X Chronicles onto here, so we could stream the. Part of Dracula X Chronicles, you can unlock Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
And the version of Symphony of the Night that's on there is based on the Sega Saturn version that has all the cut content.
Yeah, there's like I believe like 5 or 6 different rooms and stuff, and there's an entire different character.
You could play as Maria.
Yeah, though she plays like Richter. I mean, a spell version of Richter.
No, she plays like how she played in Rondo of Blood.
Yeah, but I mean like the gameplay is like Richter because I've played the Saturn version of the game. So it's not like it's the complete game. You kind of like everything's unlocked for you, and you're just kind of racing through the game.
Yeah, and when you get the gold and silver ring and go to the center of the right side up castle, you actually have to fight Maria. Which I thought it was weird that you had to go through all that hullabaloo and you just go there and talk to her.
Yeah.
Granted, fighting her makes a little less sense too, but...
I mean, you can stretch the story in a way to make it make sense.
Well, is that she didn't believe you that Richter was the person running the castle.
Which, to be fair, she did semi-recognize you, but she didn't quite like know why you were there. So if she didn't believe you, that's perfect reason for her to attack you.
Fuck. Oh, and it has the green fairy. I don't know. I can't remember if she does anything different from the blue fairy. But it's in there. Fuck. I would love if they did a like an HD version of Symphony of the Night. Like it's kind of like how they did with Dracula X Chronicles. Like it's still the same game. It's just in 3D.
I think I read somewhere someone talking about that, saying that would be like the perfect thing for them to release. I mean, it'd be sweet. One of the things that I want to do coming up here soon is I want to redo not Dawn of Sorrow. What is it called?
Aria of Sorrow?
Portrait of Ruin. Because Portrait of Ruin is great. That game is like the perfect successor to Symphony of the Night.
So our final boss is Hero and Wu Fei and their Endless Waltz Gundams.
Ooh. Who's fighting alongside us?
Char and the Zeong.
Okay, that makes sense.
We're on a map from F91. So
I want to say this because I like giving public service announcements while on stream. Emergency is the greatest thing ever.
Emergency?
Emergency is fantastic.
Is it that like vitamin C thing?
Yeah.
You're referring to? Okay.
Yeah. It's great. It's so great. Every time I feel sick, I just take it and then I feel instantly better. Because like I went to take it right before we started streaming because we didn't stream anything before we started streaming Gundam Versus. I don't know what anyone's talking about.
Here we go.
I took some, and before that, I couldn't smell or taste anything except for old Halloween mask rubber. But now I feel good. I feel great. I still have a little bit of like a feverish headache, but I mean, I'm not going to get rid of that via just doing nothing.
So, this isn't as hard as a regular boss fight, but this is still kind of spooky. We're a Zaku fighting Ultron in the Wing Zero custom.
Yeah, I mean, we're a slightly pimped out pink mobile suit versus a bunch of Gundams. Like, I mean, we're not...
They can't hit us when we're pink.
I don't think it works like that.
See, they didn't hit us there. That was just the universe imploding on us.
Okay, I mean, it makes sense. Just like our boosters don't actually fly us forward, it just moves the universe around us.
Shit.
I don't remember the payoff to that joke. That's just my like most prominent memory of anything when I think of Futurama.
Doesn't move, it just moves the universe around it. Oh, there we go. We actually beat an arcade mode line.
So I've been playing a new game recently.
Okay.
It's called Garrick like begged me to get it essentially because
Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah,
I saw.
It's actually really fun. It was actually really fun. It's basically the entire game, from what I can see, is basically just games of search and destroy-esque sort of Call of Duty sort of stuff. But the various different weapons and classes are really sweet, and there's like different characters for offense and defense. And the two modes are either you're defending these two bombs you've planted in an area as the terrorists, or you're attacking them and trying to defuse the bombs, or you've taken a hostage and the other team's trying to save the hostage. It's actually been a lot of fun.
Doesn't sound bad. Oh, so remember how I told you in the original Gundam Battle Assault, Wing replaced the mobile suit?
Yeah.
That's what it replaced.
Huh.
The Hama Hama.
Hama Hama.
The Hama Jama Lama Mama. All right, pick the show I get to play the mobile suit from, not the mobile suit.
Let's go G.
G. Well, we're going with Master Gundam. All right. Pick a route.
Go. Which one did we just do?
This one.
We did I. Let's go J.
I'm glad you picked G. Master Gundam happens to be one of my favorite mobile suits to play in this game.
Oh, it works out for everyone then.
So me and Becca just finished watching G Gundam.
Yeah, I think I remember her mentioning it.
I have to say, it wasn't quite as bad as I remember.
I was a fan of G. I mean, yeah, it's cheesy.
It's cheesy as fuck, don't get me wrong. But it was
But,
like,
like,
kind of
it's-
cheesy.
Yeah, it's like enjoyable. It was enjoyable to watch. That's why I've never ragged on it other than it being a little a little bit cheesy.
The dub is kind of bad.
Yeah, I mean, I personally prefer dubs because I don't care. Like, I don't care for the changes or anything like that. So.
Huh. Ah, shit, I grabbed our friend. So we're fighting
Our
outside
ally.
the double Zeta. Ooh, Kubi Lays. But yeah, it wasn't quite as bad as I remember. It did get a little weird at the end, but it was worth it for that finale.
Yeah, I remember. I don't think I've ever actually seen the end of it because that was back whenever it was on, like, Toonami.
They beat the Dark Gundam with the power of love.
Yeah, but that was back whenever it was on like Toonami. So they usually made like a big deal about showing the end of something,
That they did.
but then like they'd only show it once. So, as with most syndicated shows, you don't often get to see the last episode a whole lot.
Yeah, although they didn't do that often, I really didn't like what they did with Zoids, where they just didn't show the last 4 episodes for some reason, and then made an event out of it on Toonami. When that season of Zoids wasn't even on Toonami.
Yeah,
So like
It's
nobody
like,
who watched Zoids at 6 in the morning had any idea what they were watching.
yeah. That's like similar to what happened to me with Yu Yu Hakusho. Is I've never seen the end of Yu Yu Hakusho besides the second to last episode and the very last moment of the second to last episode, because every time I find something that's showing it, they never show the last like season or like the last couple episodes of the last season.
Last
So
season wasn't super great though. All right, where are we going?
we're going beta.
Also, was Yu Yu Hakusho on Toonami? I don't remember it ever being on Toonami, and people mention it being on Toonami every time I talk to them about it.
Yeah, it was on Toonami.
I don't remember that at all. I only remember it being on Adult Swim.
It was on. It was whenever. So, it was like that weird thing. That weird thing that became Toonami. I don't think it was actually on Toonami itself, but it was back whenever Toonami, they had like that Saturday night thing.
Because I only remember it being on a weekly Adult Swim before Inuyasha.
It was on there, and then I forget what it was called. I forget what it was, but I remember you and I used to watch it all the time on like their Saturday night programming block, and we'd watch. Yu Yu Hakusho would come on towards the end, right before Adult Swim would come on. There was. I remember you and I used to watch the Saturday night block because it had the X-Men cartoon.
X-Men Evolutions, yeah. That is my favorite X-Men cartoon, I'm not gonna lie.
And it had Transformers Armada as well.
I forgot Transformers Armada was a thing.
Yeah, the only like good Transformer cartoon I've ever seen, because all the rest of them seem to be awful.
Oh, the one where it was the one where Starscream wasn't a dribbling nincompoop. and he was like
yeah,
giant
but they
robot
spent
Vegeta.
yeah, they spent a lot of time with Starscream bouncing back and forth between the Decepticons and the not Decepticons, whatever they're called.
Because I forgot in the original cartoon Starscream was a dribbling idiot, so I only really remembered what's it called, Armada. And then I went to watch the movies expecting like badass like Starscream that turns good at some point. And no,
then turns bad, then turns good, then turns bad, then turns good.
And then we just had dribbling idiot Starscream.
Yeah, Armada was sweet. I remember you and I used to. That's like, because you and I were never like big Transformers fans, but then we started watching Armada, and then we were really big into it for a while.
Armada came out, and everybody was a Transformers fan all of a sudden.
Yeah, so Yu Yu Hakusho was part of that night block whenever they used to, because that night block then later on became Toonami, and then I think they continued to show Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't think they ever showed it on like the weekly like afternoon thing though.
I remember at one point, like when that area wasn't Toonami, they'd show G Gundam for some reason, and it was weird to see a Gundam series that wasn't part of Toonami on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it was whenever they switched it from being Toonami to Miguzi.
No, it wasn't anything. Like it was just part of the normal programming block.
I remember after Toonami quit doing its weekly show and switched to Saturday nights that they started the Miguzi like right afterwards. There might have been some off time. Miguzi was sweet because that's where I like I found like a whole bunch of different shows that I was actually pretty into for a while. Like Cyborg 009 and
Yeah, there's a new version of Cyborg 009 on Netflix.
Yeah, that's what one of my friends was telling me about it, where it's like the sequel. It's like the sequel show.
I got Becca to watch a while ago. I got Becca to watch Kikaider. I forgot how damn good that show was.
That was also whenever I was. So this is gonna be a fun one.
Kikaider, do you?
I do remember Kikaider, slightly. That was around the time whenever where I think you and I weren't. You would watch a lot of those sort of shows, but I think I was always like a little bit too young.
Yeah, because I remember one time you watched like one episode of Blue Gender and you had like nightmares forever.
Yeah, that show was weird.
That show was scary. Like people get like torn apart every episode. Torn apart, not torn apart.
That's also, but that was around also the same time when I discovered, to this day, I still don't know if that show's any good, because I can't personally tell you, but that's whenever I found, Code Lyoko. I don't know if that show's good.
I don't think
People tell me it's good. People tell me it's good.
It's weird.
I've watched most of it, I think. I think I've seen a good bit of Code Lyoko, because I used to just watch that block of programming every day after school. People tell me it's good. I could not tell anyone if it was good. I could not tell you. I couldn't tell you if it's... Because here's my thing with it. And this is a funny joke that I get into discussions with like our parents all the time. So like Courage Cowardly Dog. Mom hates that show.
Why?
Because she says that it's the same thing every episode. She's just like, it's the same thing every episode. Nothing new ever happens.
I think that's part of the point, though, isn't it?
I mean, that's like the whole point of like cartoons / like shows.
I mean, it's also like horror movie trope, the cartoon.
Yeah, that's like the whole like. I don't even want to get into an argument with Mom about that because I'm convinced at this point that Mom doesn't know anything good anymore. Like she has no sense of humor or any sense of like good programming or good TV shows or anything.
Oh, savage as fuck.
Because I get in arguments with her all the time. Because like my dad enjoys Futurama. Mom's like, oh, I hate Futurama. It's so stupid. It's the same thing every day.
No, Futurama. Mom used to watch Futurama with us. I don't care.
She claims she hates the show now. Or like, she's like, I can't stand Archer.
What?
And she just like, but she'll watch like fucking Supernatural over and over and over and over and over again. Like she can watch
not that good. Okay.
She can watch Supernatural. Like I think she's seen the entire series at least 10 times now.
Remember how much she used to watch Charmed?
Yeah, or she can watch Charmed, where it's the fucking same thing every episode. I've gotten into plenty of arguments because one of my favorite shows, and April and I love it, and Sarah loves it, and Dad loves it, my dad loves it, Gamer Out, is Bob's Burgers. I love that show. It's so fucking
huge
funny.
On Bob's Burgers.
And she's just like, it's so stupid, I can't stand it. I'm like, I don't see how. It's my biggest thing is like Bob's Burgers, the first season's really slow. It's like after the first season's where it kicks into high gear. Plus, like a lot of my favorite comedian writers are on that show, and like a bunch of my favorite like voice actors are on that show. So it's just like the perfect thing for me. But she like every time Courage the Cowardly Dog comes up, whenever we're talking, she's just like, I used to hate when you kids used to watch a show because it's just the same thing over and over again.
Next thing you're telling me, she talks shit on Ed, and Eddie.
I don't think it ever came up between the two of us.
I mean, I could understand her talking shit on the anime we used to watch. Anime is not for everybody.
Yeah. But the reason I brought that up was Code Lyoko legitimately was the same thing every episode. From what I can remember. Because I don't think they ever paid... They animated at least like 5 different of the 3D world vignettes. They like 5 of them. And the rest of them are just repeats of the 5 same things, just spliced together differently. Because I swear in my life, I've seen almost every episode of that show. God knows it felt like it. But I couldn't tell you one different thing about any of the episodes. And I couldn't tell you, if you showed me one of the fight scenes, I couldn't tell you one different from the other if there isn't a distinct different thing about them.
That and those foreheads.
Oh yeah, the foreheads are one thing. Fucking... And then they brought the girl to the real world, and she has like a dad, and she's actually like a real person, but... Look, I'm not saying it's a bad show. I've gotten into this discussion a couple times with my friends that actually know what the show's about, because I don't. I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm sure it's actually a pretty decent show if I could sit down and pay attention to it. Alpha Route, please. But good lord! It was so weird, because I would never actively watch it, because it wasn't my favorite part of the block, of the Muguzi block. There were other shows they showed I was much bigger fans of.
It was on Toonami for a while, too.
Yeah, but I always associated it with Muguzi, because they used to show it every day whenever they switched from Toonami to Muguzi.
See, I don't even remember Muguzi being a thing.
If I will look up an image of it and I'll send it to you, and I bet you $30 you know exactly what it is now.
What was I gonna say? But back on to just something I didn't get to say earlier about the blue gender thing, because I remember like you watched one episode of it and got like horrified.
Yeah.
And like I remember because I watched the same episode as you that night, and I remember the next morning we were like playing Yu-Gi-Oh or something. And I was like, so, did you watch Blue Gender? He was like, no, I didn't! You just didn't want to talk about it.
It was, because I was really young at that point. I couldn't have been older than, like, 8.
Why can't I boost? It's not letting me boost.
Oh my god, I just looked this up, because I haven't personally looked at this in a real long time. So... that's a really fucking weird thing, because most of those shows never showed on there. But, like, they used to show... Muguzi was really... They showed Challenge Showdown, which I was always a huge fan of. They showed the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon from, like, the 2000s, which I liked. They showed Teen Titans all the time. So I watched it a lot. I do remember that show, that Totally Spy show, but I never cared for it. I know there's like this weird. I looked up the images of it, and There's some fucking like Sesame Street was never on there. I can guarantee that. That show's not even a Cartoon Network show. But I googled it real fast, and the little vignettes between things, you know, like Toonami has like Tom and stuff.
Little like breaks.
Yeah. Well,
Bumpers.
the whole bumper aspect of Miguzi was there's this girl that had this underwater like thing, and there's like this giant green monster and like a robot and like a little blue underwater monster thing, and she used to like go to it and stuff.
Okay, send me an image of that.
I am. I'm going to. Where here? I'll post it in the chat. I just like the Google image search. If you Google image search Miguzi.
Let me see this. Okay. Now, this is going to sound really, 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 really weird.
That looks like the start of a hentai porn, doesn't it?
I've seen hentai of that.
Yeah. Well, now you know what it's from.
I like that our minds were both kind of in the same place.
Well, because I was going to make a joke about it prior to it.
Don't ask where I've seen that. and before we get to that point, no, I did not jerk to it. But
And tomatoes, right? Like, doesn't matter if you actually jerk to it or not.
oh, that'd feel awful if I jerked to that. It looks weird.
That's what replaced Toonami whenever they moved Toonami from being.
I mean, if that's your fetish, more power to you. I should probably add. But
Yeah, we're not kink shaming here. Shoot, we made a water sports joke on the stream that we're not going to talk about. That never happened.
that stream where we got fucked.
There was no stream where we got fucked. I promise you that. Does not exist. I also misspelled it. It's really funny. I changed it and re-googled it, but you can still see me misspelling Goozy. But
Okay, come on. Why isn't it letting me boost?
because your boost is out. The juice is loose.
Boost.
Yeah, all I know is
Try to get fingered, bitch.
darkness finger.
the darkness finger sounds vaguely sexual.
Yeah, but that's what ended up replacing Toonami whenever they moved Toonami out of the afternoon slot to the Saturday night slot. I don't think it was immediate too. I don't think they moved Toonami immediately to Saturday night because I remember them having it was like Saturday Night Action Block or something like that, and that's whenever they started showing like X-Men and whatever, and then it became Toonami.
So one thing I missed completely, like when it was at its peak, was Avatar.
I can agree with that one. I never watched that one either.
I mean, I watched it like a couple years after it like a year or two after it ended, like when I was hanging out with Jay a lot because he liked it, and like him and Becca both got me into it. And holy shit, that is a really, really good show.
Yeah, I mean everything I hear is really good. I just never watched it personally. Yeah, I mean I'm sure like from what I've seen of it, there's a lot going for it. I'm just not its target, I guess. I don't know.
No, that's how I felt until I actually sat and watched it. I actually tried watching that movie. When people say that is a shit movie and they talk shit on it, there's no exaggeration. That is a really, really bad adaptation.
It's a bad movie. Coming from a person that has never seen any of the original Avatar, and I knew nothing about Avatar going into it. A couple of my friends wanted to go see it, so I went to see it with them. It is awful. It is just an awful movie.
It has the honor of being the only movie I've ever actually rage quit. Like I reached a point where I could not watch anymore. It was me and Becca were watching it on Netflix. Like, the fact that you could see that they just show the Fire Lord, and he's just some guy.
Yeah, it was the guy from The Daily Show.
No, that was another dude. He played.
Oh,
Zhao.
that was the other guy. Yeah, I know. I screwed that one up. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one who played Zhao.
That one was weird for me because whenever I went to go see it, I was big into The Daily Show at the time, and I was just like, "That's just the dude that like makes jokes on The Daily Show. Like, what is this?"
Zhao was the guy from The Daily Show was the guy talking to the Fire Lord when you first see him.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I said, that movie is just bad. It's bad for people that were a fan of Avatar, and it's definitely not selling people on watching Avatar.
That and the weird like mixing up of the races. Like I'm not one to get into the whole argument about race in movies, but the race mixing in that movie, like the way they did it, just didn't make any goddamn sense. Because like the Water Tribe were supposed to be like based on like Eskimos and Inuit, or I guess those are both the same thing, but you get the idea. And then they were just white people.
Yeah, I mean it's like roughly the same thing.
And then the Fire Nation's supposed to be based on Japanese culture, and then they were just Indian people for some reason. Like, just so many weird little things that just threw the movie off for me.
I mean, they were consistent. Everything was wrong.
Yeah, it's like Shyamalan actually went into that movie and it's like, how much shit of this can I fuck up?
I remember reading something where they supposedly said that he didn't actually have as much control as people thought he did. I like how you just grabbed a disassembled unit and then it reassembled in time for you to fling it around and destroy it.
That I know that thing's called the Turn X, and it's from Turn A Gundam, but I know nothing about it. So I've never watched Turn A Gundam.
There's a lot of Gundam that I've never watched at this point.
Right now I'm trying to... I want to at least watch all the UC stuff, because I love the Universal Century. I'm not really big on like all the alternate universe Gundams. Like, I have no interest in Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Iron-Blooded Orphans?
It's like the newest one. It's, pick a streaming service so you can find Iron-Blooded Orphans on it.
I still think it's funny that one of the ones that you hate's still the most popular one in Japan.
Seed.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated Seed. Seed even had like mobile suits that were all nods to Xeon mobile suits and that looked like them. And I still don't like Seed.
Have you like retried watching Seed lately?
Why is she crying?
Did you just blow up her best friend or something?
Maybe. What? What am I fighting? Do you see these things?
They're like T-Rexes. They're like weird.
Those have to be from like Turn A or something.
This is dumb. They need to take. They need
I don't
to
like
take
the mecha
Gundam
design
away
from
for a
Turn A,
couple
so
years.
that looks like Turn A
If this is what Gundam's turned into, they need to stop. They've hit the peak. They jumped the shark.
Well, from what little I know about Turn A, it was supposed to be like weird and ridiculous. Like that was like part of the theme. But that's all I pretty much know about Turn A. Although one thing that sounds like it would be really bad that I've been watching a lot recently, that was actually pretty good, is Gundam Build Fighters. It's
Gundam Build Fighters?
It's the anime that's about the models.
Is this like a weird
like it's like they plug them into a there's sort of a sport that goes on with them where they plug them into this big table and it, like makes and it, like animates them and they have fights.
Gundam, the Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's sort of like Gundam but Yu-Gi-Oh. But it's actually about the models. Like the actual animes exist in this show. And there's a bunch of like really really nice little nods and wink winks, wink wink nudge nudges to all the various Gundam shows. It's fun. Like Becca hasn't watched a lot of the Gundam stuff with me. Like she's watched like G and Unicorn with me, and she knows what I've told her about other series, and she's been really enjoying Build Fighters.
There's just a Gundam for every season.
Although some of the references in it are not so subtle. Like there's a character that when you first see him, he looks exactly like Rambaral. He's holding a model of Rambaral's mobile suit, and his name is Rambaral.
Rambaral. That sounds like something out of SD.
He's from the original Gundam. He's the guy in the original Gundam that had the goof.
Dom dom dom.
Remember the SD Gundam that was on Toonami for a while?
Yeah, it was on Maguzi as well. I like that one. We've talked about this before. I'm actually a huge fan of SD Gundam. I think it's fun. I've enjoyed every episode I've watched. I think if you don't take it too seriously, it's fun. It's enjoyable. My favorite character is the fucking
the design. Like,
my favorite character is
good.
My favorite character is the fucking Dom because it just runs around and goes Dom Dom Dom.
But I'd like to see actual non-SD versions of the bad guy mobile suits in that because they'd look really cool.
I maintain that if you watch it with the idea that it's not being serious at all, because it's not. It's not made to be serious. Someone had the extra couple months to animate this thing and decided to piss off and make it. It's a ton of fun.
Well, the original version of SD Gundam was meant to be a parody. Like it was just a series of like small skits that made fun of the original Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah.
They were actually really funny too.
Yeah, I watched them before. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. I think SD, ironically enough, SD is probably the Gundam series I probably got the most enjoyment out of.
You take that back. You take that back.
No other Gundam series made me laugh as hard as that one did.
What?
How'd you lose?
We went to time.
There's time?
Apparently.
Oh my god. This is almost as bad as dying to a Badoo, not that we did that.
Yeah, I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Not a thing that happened.
There's something that recently came out. It's called Gundam Thunderbolt. I think you might like it. It's
on a level of...
it's not really tropey, I'll put it to you that way. Like,
on a scale of 8th MS Team to G, how cheesy are we talking?
It's darker and grittier than 8th MS Team.
Oh.
It's sort of like an alternate... It takes place during the One-Year War in the Universal Century, but it's not canon.
Oh, okay. So they could, like, just kill off everyone and no one would care.
But it doesn't use any of the characters either. It has its own characters.
Oh, okay.
Like, they don't even mention Amuro or Char. But essentially, like, they're starting a new series.
Their main character, Shamaro, though.
No. It's part of something that's been going on with more recent Gundam that takes place in the Universal Century, where it turns out the entire time the Federation were gigantic assholes and the Zeon were actually kind of sympathetic.
Something that the old Gundams never really went into.
Yeah, like the guy who pilots the Gundam for this show is a total dickwad. He's like an arrogant shithead.
Okay.
And the Zeon character is just an amputee who wants to walk again.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's not even fair.
Well, he's part of something called the Living Dead Unit, they're a bunch of people who are wounded in battle. Like they're all amputees and shit. And they're working on making them operational prosthetics so they can actually pilot mobile suits again. And they're mostly just snipers at this point. It's a really good like rivalry movie.
God, that's awful. Fucking.
It's really dark and gritty too. But I do really recommend it. It's really good. Like, I'd say it's about Cowboy Bebop's level of dark and gritty.
Dear. You know what I heard? What got brought up the other day? I forget who I was talking to. That I totally forgot existed. Someone brought up Outlaw Star.
That was a good show. I haven't watched it recently, but a few years ago, they used to watch it at the game shop I used to go to.
Which is really funny because here's how young I was whenever all that sort of stuff was popular. Because you tend to forget how young I really was when a lot of that was around.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a different show than Cowboy Bebop.
Interesting.
I was like, Outlaw Star.
You just thought Cowboy Bebop had a cat girl.
Yeah, I totally did. So I looked it up. I was like, oh my god,
We want to time
that's not Cowboy Bebop. So yeah.
All right, I'm giving.
That's another show apparently I watched when I was younger, and I don't recollect it all.
How much do you remember of Blue Sub number 6?
Nothing.
Really?
I know that there are. It's a thing. I know it's really popular. I could not tell you anything about it other than like the bumpers that Adult Swim / Toonami used to show about it.
Then again, they only showed it on Toonami once as like a special.
Yeah, and like I said, that was around the time when I was so young that I could barely stay up that late for.
No, it was on afternoon Toonami.
Yeah, I know that, but it was shown on Adult Swim primarily, right?
No, that was before it predates Adult Swim. It was when it came out when I was in 7th grade, dude.
Oh, so that's like midnight run times.
Yeah, and they aired it as a special on regular Toonami. Like it took up half the Toonami block or something.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about it. Just like until we rewatched Fully Cooley recently. Not recently, that was a couple years ago. But I couldn't remember anything about that either.
Oh, Fully Cooley's so good. Pick a path. I picked the mobile suit. I don't give a shit.
Let's go B.
Of course I picked this one. I've been wanting to watch Reboot again. I missed that show. That was a good show.
Supposedly they're still working on the reboot of it.
I feel like it's gonna end up being one of those things where it's like they only asked whether or not they could, not whether or not they should.
I mean,
I thought the story had a pretty good conclusion.
It could be done well. Personally for me, and I only tried watching it once. I haven't tried to sit down and rewatch it. There's something about the graphics too where it was like really tough for me to get through at first. So if they just kind of redid it and just made it look not from like the 80s, because let's be realistic here. I don't know when that show was originally made, but it looks old. It looked old when we were kids. It looked old when we were kids. Our PlayStations had better graphics. And I'm gonna bring this up. I recently tried playing Twisted Metal 2. That is unplayable.
Really?
Twisted Metal 2 is unplayable. I can't tell you because it's so blocky. You can recognize your character, and that's about it. Until other characters are right up on top of you. That's how shitty that game looks.
Well, if you really must play Twisted Metal 2, play Twisted Metal Head-On for PSP.
Yeah.
It's a remake.
I remember you. Was that the one that? A. Was Twist Metal Head On the one that I borrowed from you whenever I borrowed your PSP, or was that like Twist Metal Black or something?
That was the only one I had for PS. It's the only one that came out for PSP, I think.
Okay, because I remember that because I borrowed your PSP, Twisted Metal, something. I guess it was Head On. That had a really sweet soundtrack.
Twisted Metal Head On did have a very sweet soundtrack. Well, actually, most of the Twisted Metal games had a really sweet soundtrack.
Yeah, a lot of them had a really sweet soundtrack.
Those games are what got me listening to Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, I'm a super beast.
Still trying to figure out what Dracula is, but I'll figure it out eventually.
Trying to figure out what Dracula is.
I think it's a truck or something. But I also borrowed Metal Gear Acid, and I beat the last level of the game.
Remember when we tried to record Metal Gear Acid? I forgot about the Shoggoth. Oh.
God, I was so late when we were doing that. I was so tired.
Maybe.
But I beat Metal Gear Acid. Supposedly I wasn't supposed to do that. Because that was your save. That was your one campaign where you're like, I'm not going to beat it so I can play whatever level I want.
Yeah.
But I wasn't informed that. So I beat it and I was like, I beat the game. And you're like, did you use this campaign? Yeah. Fuck. That was a great weekend.
I still remember when I just left my PS2 on in the bedroom, and I had Ace Combat 4 open. Or not Ace Combat 4, Ace Combat 5. And Sarah just wandered into my room and started a new game and managed to overwrote my save where I grinded up to get all the planes unlocked.
Yeah, that reminds me of...
She was too young. I couldn't even be mad at her. I was just like, well, this
She
happened.
was always too young. I remember she did that a couple different times with different things, and she was just too young to be mad at, because, like... Man, this is, like, one of the things, like, just how I think you oftentimes kind of forget how young I was back whenever, you mentioned, like, all of our heydays of watching shows together and stuff, and cartoons. Just how young I really was. I always forget how young she was when I think back on, like, all the things she did, like, accidentally deleting games or stuff. Or, one time I was playing, this is back whenever I didn't have a PS2, and I was playing a video game in the living room on our PS2, the big one, and she, like, went in and pulled one of the memory cards, and it ruined the game. I had to restart, and I hadn't saved in a while, and I was super mad. But then thinking back, I was like, oh shit, she was only, like, 4 when that happened, or 5. Like, she was too young to really understand.
Well, the thing is, I didn't even I wasn't even actually mad about that. Like, I just felt more defeated.
Yeah.
I just went to go load my game and realized she did that, and I was just like, oh.
Well, it's really
I guess
funny
I'm not playing
because
this game ever again.
that's a similar situation to the last time I think my dad's ever played video games. Was he saw our mom playing that Sphinx game. I forget what it was called. The 2D, like
Sphinx
the one we had
First
for PS.
That game was alright.
Yeah, I actually been meaning to find it and play it again because I remember enjoying it when I played it.
I have the disc.
It's like
I have the disc for it still, but it
probably doesn't work.
Oh no.
It's like Sphinx. That game really resembles the PS2 era for me because there's so many games that were like that game where it's kind of like the 3D explore worlds. There's maybe like a hub world or something like that. There's like Jak and Daxter and like Ratchet and Clank, all those sort of games. Like they all kind of just, that's like indicative of that PS2 era.
So there's one thing that I know me and you are probably disagree on about the PS2 era. I think Wrath of Cortex is fucking garbage.
It's definitely not garbage. I think it's one of the better Crash games.
I disagree completely. It looks like ass.
It doesn't look the greatest. It looks super outdated nowadays whenever you watch it. but I really enjoy the game. Especially like the they got rid of like a lot of like the really shitty sections from Wrath of Court or from
they replaced
Warped.
it with their own shitty sections.
I actually don't think their sections are shitty. I think the ball rolling one is pretty fun. The Coco herself level where she does like karate moves are kind of lame, but I'd rather that than the fucking
Then, even for the time, the character models in that look god-awful.
Yeah, they don't look great.
Like, N Trophy looks... He actually looks better in Crash 3.
Yeah, I agree. I can agree with that one. I can agree with that one. I think the gameplay's still pretty fun, though. A lot of the levels are really sweet. I think... So here's my thing, right? I think some of the character models are kind of bad, like N Trophy, and I'm not like super big on the way Crash looks himself, because he looks too much like a fucking like Dorito.
Cortex's eyes are connected.
I don't mind that as much. I don't mind Cortex's design in that one. Cause like it's all sort of cartoony sort of stuff, so it's like it's fine with me on that aspect.
Too cartoony though. The opening immediately made me not like that game.
But I've played like ones past that one, so whereas you probably haven't, so you haven't seen how dark the well really gets.
Oh no, I know Modern Crash is terrible.
And that's the thing too, Modern Crash isn't actually that bad, it's just not Crash. Like, I really liked Mind Over Monster. That one was actually a lot of fun. The other ones that came out on PS2, like Twinsanity and stuff, are really bad, though. Like, Twinsanity, like, there's, like, a mechanic where you and Cortex get into this brawl and roll around as a ball, and it's just, like, really bad.
Ugh.
But,
I'm really excited for the Insane trilogy, though.
Yeah, I am too. It comes out in like July too, which is sweet. So I have enough time to like get ready for it.
I'm kind of sad though, because I completely thought I remember reading in a couple places that the new Gundam Versus was coming out this summer, and now that the release trailer's out, it's got bumped back to fall.
Yeah, I have that problem all the time. I swear on my life, I hear things in trailers, and then like I go back and rewatch a trailer, and then or like something happens and then they change it, but I never hear about it. Like, I don't know, it's just really weird. But I was in the middle of telling like a quick story though, before you jumped in on that.
Okay, go ahead.
The story of the last time my dad ever played a video game. He saw our mom playing that Sphinx game and thought it actually looked kind of fun. So he went to go play it, but accidentally deleted the memory card that had her save on it.
Like,
and
completely?
yeah, so she had to restart the game because she was super far into the game. He I think either deleted her save or accidentally cleared the entire memory card. I don't think there's much on the memory card, so I don't think... It might have just been the game, but all I know is that her save got deleted, and he felt like so bad that he never played the PlayStation again. He got like so dejected from that one moment.
I do remember a time way back in the day when we first got the. It was around when we first got the PS2. No, I mean the PS1. I remember he tried playing the demo to Metal Gear Solid, and got immediately pissed off by the fact that the credits for the game kept appearing during the intro. Like,
yeah.
While you're playing.
I did catch him playing it again at one point, though. Like, after that. Because I remember that the situation you're bringing up. I did catch him playing it once. There was a time when my dad used to actually play video games. And it's kind of funny to think about now, because I don't think he's picked up one in years. But I think legitimately the last time he attempted to play a video game, like actively play a video game, was that Sphinx incident. And I don't think I think he got like so upset / dejected from that moment that he just never picked it up again.
I did that to my dad when I was young. When he was at the final boss of Secret of Mana. And I was like, I want to play Secret of Mana too, and I started a new game and then saved over his.
Yeah, I mean,
I
they're
wasn't
really
allowed to touch Secret of Mana ever again.
a lot of it's really funny because they can put
my
in
dad playing Secret of Mana, but go ahead.
they can put in as many fucking warnings as they want. Like, are you sure you want to save over this game? Like, are you positive? There's this area where you can save that isn't over this game. Are you sure you want to save over? It doesn't matter. It'll still happen. I just remember my mom coming home and just being so heartbroken because she really loved that game. And just really, really, really hated having to start over. That game was also memorable for the fact that I think that you got that game alongside Defiance, yeah. So that was like a death sentence for that game to getting enough play.
Oh no, I picked it up later on and started playing it. I got I'd say about at least 3/4 of the way through it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing it. I remember thinking it was actually pretty fun. Like,
Yeah,
it was
wasn't
just,
bad.
it was a very, it didn't do too many things special, but it was a fun game to play. And that was, like I said before, basically every other game on the PS2 became that. Because like we established on our previous stream, the PlayStation hit this point where every game on the PlayStation was either this dark brown and gray shooter or like Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter sort of clone.
Maybe.
A.
Alright, and... Oh, back of the Garuda. And our ally is Schwarzbruder.
Schwarzbruder?
German ninja. So I remember my first games on the PS2 were Fetty vs. Xeon and what's it called? Journey to Jaburo.
Yeah.
Journey to Jaburo is a motherfucking hard game. Like, dear God, that game took a ton of effort to beat.
That dude is fucking kicking your ass. Legitimately. He only had legs.
Yeah. He dead now.
Good. Yeah, I don't remember us ever beating Journey to Jaburo.
I eventually did. Well, I didn't beat it until we got our own PS2s.
Yeah.
Because only being at the house on the weekends combined with limited access to the PS2 really, really hampered my ability to play it.
The good old days. When we, like, had to beg for the PS1 to be upstairs.
Yep. Yeah,
oh, my
Journey to
favorite...
Jaburo, dear God. That game is fucking... Like, I'll have to do a play of it sometime soon to show you how merciless that game really is.
Do you remember the time you nearly, like, blew up your PlayStation / killed yourself?
No?
Okay.
Question mark?
So, this is gonna be a fun story, because I didn't realize it at the time either, but I learned later on what was about to happen if you would have followed through with the issue. This was whenever we each had our own PS1. The PS2 was still downstairs, I believe. This was before we got our Slims.
Okay.
But I think I had the PlayStation 1 up in my room, and I think you had one from, like, your dad's house. But you had lost the power cord to the PlayStation 1. So you and I would fight over who got to use the power cord whenever you would come over.
Okay.
And you got so, like, fed up with that because you wanted to play a game and it was my turn to use it, that you started carving. You took, like, a power cord from, like, a radio or something like that, or like a CD player.
Oh,
and
I
you started
remember this.
carving into it to try to make your own PlayStation cord.
Yeah,
and our
'cause
moms,
it had corners on it and it wouldn't fit. And
our mom stopped us because I thought it was a good idea too. Turns out, and I'm sure we never thought about it at this time. I actually found that cord later on, because for whatever reason we didn't throw it away. I found that cord, and the voltage on that cord that it transfers would have probably destroyed the PS2, if not caused some sort of electrical shortage. Or the PS1, yeah. Might have, like, zapped you and, like, fucking blew off your arm or something. Because it was outputting at a level that the PS1 was not meant to handle.
That was a mom also got really mad at me because I brought one of my knives over without her permission.
Yeah.
That's what I was using to carve it.
So that was an interesting moment of my life. Because I was stupid, you were stupid, we're like, oh yeah, this is clearly gonna work. No issue here. It fits in the hole, let's do it. Fun fact, that is not how you should live your life.
Fun fact, don't do that. Oh, I like how stubborn I was back then. Just nothing would stop me. Just, this should work. These corners totally aren't here for a reason. Oh, young me. God damn it, Amuro. Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm willing to keep going, but I want to switch games.
Alright, let's do this.
Alright, so that's going to end this stream, but we'll be back in like 5 more minutes.
Thank you, Rod.
New window. Twitch you.